Hello everyone and welcome back to NeoBurgh, the brand new, basically brand new region that we're playing through on a modern setting in order to have something a little bit different to what we normally do. So yeah, this is us without a loan. This is a brand new day. So what we do need to do is save up a little bit of money. So that doesn't necessarily mean we can't do anything. I just want to limit our spending a little bit to make sure that we don't just spend the money that we've got already in the bank. We also need to ensure that stuff doesn't really back up too much here. We do have a fair bit of backup at the moment, but that's mostly this stuff coming down this way. What we can do very quickly is probably link in Dover and also West Ham and Winsford to over here. But what we don't want to do is do that too quickly and have it affect the amount of money that we make off of our really profitable lines, the Alford and Burgh Marsh lines. In fact, if we compare them, which one's making more money at the moment? So, this one's making about 3 million. This one makes over 3 million. So, I would say that the Burgh Marsh line makes more money, but at the same time, they're both very profitable. What we need to do is increase the rate that bricks are sent. So, what we want to do here is link in these two quarries down to here, and that will then allow us to have a harbour which goes from here down to the two construction materials that we have either end of this river. So that should then make us a fair bit of money when we're bringing back bricks to provide to these areas. So without further ado, I think what we will need to do is change things up around here a little bit. But first off, what we probably need to do, which will be quite expensive, unfortunately, I might just lower the strength here. Let's make this as large as possible, is put in an area for a cargo dock. Is that smooth? Oh, whoops. I meant flatten. So this will be the area where our port will be. We want to try and keep it as far away from the river and Littlehampton as possible. And we've spent all our money. So this is the main problem here, is that it's going to cost a lot of money to do this, and ultimately the payoff isn't necessarily that much. It just means that Littlehampton won't be getting emissions and also won't be backing up traffic on the river. Not that boat traffic really does, but that's not the point. What we don't want to be doing is creating a rod for our back and blocking things in the future. So if we just try and remove this as quickly as possible. I feel like this is going to be a little bit tedious trying to get this just right. But it is what it is. In the meantime, it looks like that traffic's starting to work its way through, which is good. We literally just want to remove this little island. Thank you. Okay. So I do think that we need to go a little bit further back, but for now, I don't know whether we'll have the money to do that. Yeah, It's going to be tough. So we're going to be creating a little area where the boats can come into, and hopefully that should also allow the traffic to avoid the Littlehampton emissions zone, and also avoid backing up on the river. So that's the idea here, is to try and future-proof it a little bit. But we will need a large 4-terminal harbour, which will unfortunately cut into the side a little bit, but that's just how it is. So that will be around that area, which will allow us to then basically do what we want to with this this harbour area. So hopefully it won't take too long until we have that money. We need about 2.3, 2.4, 2.3 million. We're already at, I was going to say 1.8, but I jinxed it, and now we've had some expenses come out. But this will allow us to then ship this stone out to the other construction yards, construction plants, I should say, and hopefully, excuse me, I've had a little bit of Coca-Cola and it's tickled my throat just before recording, which is not great. Right, we're up to 2.29. Are we going to make it to 2.3? This is tantalizing stuff. No, we're not. I do really think that we should improve this. Maybe digging out more on this side, because then we can have a train station that comes down to here, and we can hopefully avoid going anywhere near that. The problem is the residential zone. So I've had it in games before where the boats create quite a lot of emissions and affect the cities on the river. And then, of course, you have to change everything out, because there's no way around that, other than like trying to move the river, but that's just too much after the fact, really. Oh, excuse me. Because it costs so much, we've just taken off all that money from doing that alone. But hopefully it will future-proof it a little bit. Maybe we can smooth. Nope. We need some money to do that. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to landscape it as much as we want, which is a shame. I want to create a bit more of a straight edge here. But yeah, that may be all that we can do. It's a huge amount out of the river, really, but it allows us to have an area that isn't going to build into the river. For example, if we just put it into the river from this side, yeah, it can't even really fit. Like, no boats are going to be able to get round that very easily, which is a bit unfortunate. So if we try placing this down on this side, we would need 2.31. And that actually has some space to grow, so we could potentially do something down the line there with growing that out. We could potentially use some loan to build this in, but we've just taken that off. I don't really want to put another loan on. At this stage, it's not really needed. We should be getting the money through. Now we now we do. Oh, I said now we do, and now it's gone. Money comes and goes. What stays is the memories. Oh god, sounds so cheesy, doesn't it? Right, so we've now built in the dock on this side. This is a good first step. What we need to do is build a dock on this side so that we can change over to using boats to bring stone over here, and then we can take bricks back. So I'm thinking like a little dock here. I say a little dock, it's quite a large dock really, which then we can tie in to this area. But we also need to build in docks down here. I don't think we're going to be able to build in a dock that will actually reach that construction materials, which is a big shame. It'd be really good if we could, but I don't think we're going to be able to. And we also need to... Oh, we've got some new buses. That's good. We also need to link in these two quarries, which is going to be pretty tricky. We may have to repurpose this line that we've got going backwards and forwards here, and just use a road line for the time being, and then have the boats basically take the stone backwards and forwards, because hopefully what we can do is build in a line to West Ham and Winsford, which will then distribute out the bricks on that side. That's interesting. Why is it a tunnel? I mean, I know this is quite far down, but come on. Right, so we've got a road down here. We would need to probably connect up on this side. I'm just trying to think, what will we do? Because we're going to need probably at least a 4 sized train station here. And then how are we going to connect in that quarry to it? This is going to be tricky. Tricky. Because we don't want the quarry here to connect into the train station. We want the quarry here to connect into the harbour. So we're probably going to want something like this here. Would we be able to go that way? It would be too much, wouldn't it? So we would have to go across this way. Maybe even raising that up a little bit so that it's in line with the quarry there. And then what we could do is have a road come down, and that could connect in underneath this tunnel, underneath this train station. Can we put in steps that will connect it? Yes, we can. Not that it's actually needed. What we do need to do is connect in a road on this side, which shouldn't be too difficult. Do something like this, and then we can have some connections here, which connect into this road. Ooh, that does look pretty weird. Alright, let's just connect that bit. So, again, this will be to connect in the stone from here, and eventually this area over here as well. Oh! We've lost our quarry. What's happened to the quarry? Oh, there was a quarry here. Does that mean that we've lost one of the... One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Huh. There's more quarries than there are construction materials. Hang on. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, we just had one put... Oh, wow. That's so close. Gosh darn, that's thrown a spanner in the works. Okay. We might have to use that with one of the other ones. Anyway, we're going to go forward with this plan here. So we're connected up to these two. This is connected up to those two. That's perfect. This will need to connect up down here, in which case we're going to have to move this. We're going to have to move a lot of this, which is something that I've been dreading, but it is needed. So, without further ado, let's get on with this. So, what I want to do, I've been thinking about this for a while, is re-put in the road here and redo this bridge so that it comes through. We've got a fair bit of money, so we shouldn't have to worry about money too much for this. That does not connect here, which is a bit of a shame. Where do we want it so that it will connect and can be enlarged if we need it to be? Here, like so. And then that's going to go into a bridge here. We're going to raise it a little bit. And in fact, I might actually upgrade this to the next bridge up. So if we just delete this bit out, we can actually connect this in at a more reasonable height, potentially, maybe not. We'll be using the boats going forward. It's just literally for the time being we need this in. If we put a building here, that should automatically connect, and then we'll have a road coming through here which will connect in on this side of Littleford, and then we're going to have our 3-3 terminal here, which is going to be the new center of our bricks sort of lines. And we have room there to grow, so we could very well connect in Winsford and West Ham straight into this. We don't necessarily need to use a train line to begin with, and that should allow things to grow from here, which will be good. This should have automatically flung over to this. That's good. Let's just improve this a little bit. So if we put a couple of buildings, I don't know whether they'll fit on this side. Ah, they fit there. That's good. And then a couple of buildings on this side, just to make sure that stuff, the cargo doesn't go away. And then we would want a street access on the other side. We'll hit play for a minute, just let things run through. So we're going to need to connect this up to the construction material plant here, which shouldn't be too tricky to do. We can probably do it a number of different ways. That being said, this doesn't really go very far, which is interesting. I would have thought it would go further. So we might have to do something slightly different and connect this here, which isn't what I wanted. I was hoping to do a road on this side, something like this, which we then connect in to this. And then hopefully, yes, that connects to the construction materials now, which is good. What we need to do is swap over Ilkley to number 6, Swindon to number 4, Alford to number... In fact, Alford's the one that's backing up, so let's do Burglar Marsh to number 3. And then if we just make sure these are all set up correctly so that they have the right additional thing. Swindon will be number 5. Alford will be number 2. And Burglar Marsh will be number 2. So this is quite a temporary stopgap while we hopefully get the train line in, not too far off in the future. So we'll just connect that up there and this up here. So then that should allow things to connect up over here, shouldn't it? Yes, that's good. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So eventually what we'll have is a train line around here somewhere, which will take bricks to Alford and Burglar Marsh. But for now, we'll just keep things as they are. We're not changing things too much. We're mainly just putting in a line here, which will now take the stone to this construction materials, and also hopefully take bricks back, which we can then one day use to put in a line on this side to West Ham and Winsford via this train line. So for now, it's just staying as it is until we can get a little bit more money. We will be using this stone line to bring in stone from here and here down to here. We may well need some more vehicles to do that at the same level that this has, but it shouldn't be too much trouble. And hopefully that will be pretty decent, because then we can connect in these two construction material plants and have boats going either way, full both directions, which will be extremely profitable and hopefully set us up to really start to shift a lot of bricks to those cities in the future. So yeah, watch this space because it's going to be changing up pretty quickly. Hopefully once we get those brick lines in. I still don't know whether it's going to reach on this side. I don't think it's going to. Measuring roughly with my fingers, is probably closer on this side. So if we came into this side here, not this one, I think we're more likely to make it there, but I don't know. It's also further away from Loughton, so that should improve things for emissions there. But yeah, this will be quite a big change up, and hopefully a much bigger improvement for things here. So this will be cargo via the water. It is for stone there, and bricks. We'll just do this number 1. Stone and bricks. We'll go with red because that's the colour of the bricks lines, and it's better than the white one, which is quite hard to see in this this overlay. So that's the only real reason that I'm going with red and not white. We could have gone with either, or we could have even done a slightly different color, like maybe orange or something like that. But I think using the final produce that's going to come from it is probably the best bet. I'd like that one to go to one of the middle ones. Let's put it on number 2 actually, because that's closer to this side. We will need to connect in these two construction material plants. It's annoying that this this quarry's turned up right here in some ways, but also it means that we could potentially connect in, say, this construction material plant over here. So I think this is more likely to connect, although there's a fair hill there, fairly high hill. I don't know whether it will reach it. That's the only thing. I guess like around here is the closest we can get it to give it the best possible opportunity to just connect in with no other lines. Because if we can, then that reduces how much we spend here, which would be good. 200,000. I mean, there is a hill there, which is annoying, and that does connect it up. That's exactly what we need. Awesome. Let's get that line in. So I'm just going to put the line in for now. So that'll be going from number 1. We want it to fill up on stone. So we'll be picking up stone, dropping off bricks. We will want it to connect in here, where it will then drop off its stone and pick up bricks. And we want it to come back, and while we will want it to go back here, we want it to go here first and just drop off what bricks it can. So that's literally just delivering bricks into these lines and taking things from there. This is quite good because it's actually split out the way the lines come in and what have you. So you know, that's a positive thing going forward. I'm surprised they're not using. It's because we've got a dual line here, a larger road here that it's going into the. So on the way back, it's going into the right-hand lane and not the left-hand lane. I thought it would go into the left-hand lane because then it could turn left here, but it's because this literally just goes left in the right-hand lane as well, which isn't that great, but it is what it is. But yeah, we've made some huge changes here. Let's go into this one. In fact, we need the name from this one because it's literally going to be the same thing, just number 2. And we can actually set that up next next time. We just need a boat on it. That's all that needs is a boat, and then that's going to start making some really big money. It's going to take a little while for the boats to go up and down this river, but that will be a huge, huge impact for us. What we don't want is to be taking away stone from this construction materials plant, which is currently what it would do. So we need to set up the lines here to bring stone down. And once we get this line set up, we don't have to worry about stone coming across because we can just use the boats. So that may well be what we do next. But for now, I think I'm going to pop down our boat depot and leave it there. We've gotten a fair amount done in this episode. Huge changes to the way things are. And quite frankly, it's awesome. I'm so happy to see how things are going. If you are and you're enjoying this series, then please consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel, and it also allows you to know when stuff comes in straight away to catch up with how NeoBurgh is getting on. But I'm going to leave it here. Next time we'll be able to set up a few more lines and get things going a little bit more. But yeah, thank you for watching, and until next time, have a good one. Cheers. Bye bye.